It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Dr. with 3 Years of Wrestling, and welcome to the It's Wrestling Time Impact Wrestling Post Show. Alright, so tonight's Impact was the end of the year awards part 2, the best of 2021 continued. Alright, so tonight's show kicked off with a recap of Moose versus Eddie Edwards, which was a recap of their match at Turning Point, a match which unfortunately was not able to be there live, and which I wish I could have been, but unfortunately I wasn't. So then after that, we got backstage segment with the Influence and the Inspiration. The Influence were in the middle of their photo shoot. The Inspiration interrupted their photo shoot. I like how Tenille told Cassie what holiday was she dressed for, stripness, to which Cassie responded that was in February. And then the Influence told the Inspiration that they didn't even have a photographer. The Inspiration introduced their photographer, Jai Vidal, and he says he's Jay with an I, kind of like how Caleb with the K is Caleb with the K. Alright, and then we get a recap of the Inspiration's debut at Bound for Glory. I was there for that, and it was amazing. I love the Inspiration, so I certainly popped for that debut. And for the first award of the night, we get Knockouts Tag Team of the Year. The nominees include DK, The Inspiration, Fire and Flavor, Jordan Grace, and Rachel Ellering, and of course The Influence. Me personally, y'all know I'm a huge Inspiration fan, so I voted for The Inspiration. Unfortunately, Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering were the winners of this award. Honestly, even though I'm not their biggest fan, they certainly deserved it. They had one hell of a year as a tag team, so congrats to them. And then afterwards, we had Eddie Edwards, or Willie, Mack, Swann, Heath, and Rhino all backstage talking about how they were all hard to kill. Their team was hard to kill. Eddie saying that they have been men that have been held down, men who have been told they couldn't do this, they shouldn't be here, and all their faces are hard to kill. So Swann saying that hard to kill is 9 days away, and the Violent by Design and the Good Brothers think that they have everything figured out, and that they like to go to war and get extreme. And he says that they're going to find out how hard this team is to kill. So that was the gist of that segment. Then we get a recap of Sami Callahan versus Kenny Omega at Slammiversary, which we all know was a DQ match for the Impact World title. It was a great match and a contender, I should say, a nominee for Match of the Year. Then we get a recap of Jonah's debut at Turning Point, which he attacked Josh Alexander, and a recap of his debut against Jai Vidal, which was essentially a squash match. It was a very quick match. We get a recap of the Ultimate X Division match, which consisted of Josh Alexander, Trey Miguel, Rohit Raju, Ace Austin, Petey Williams, and Chris Bay. This match was amazing, and it was a nominee for Match of the Year. Hands down, this match. If you haven't seen this match, you need to watch this match. Alright, and then we get a Morrissey promo. One hell of a promo, if you ask me. This was a really good promo. So he basically says that we recognize his face, but we don't know the man behind the face. We associate that face with a goofy, fun-loving guy, one half of a catchphrase. So referring to his time with Enzo Amore and how they would go say that they were a bona fide G and a certified stud, and that Big Cass was 7 feet tall. And he says, but behind what we've seen on screen, if we knew what to look for inside of his eyes, we would see that somebody was in agony. He says he doesn't blame the fans for the agony he was in, but he does blame them. He does blame the fans because for the second he buckled under pressure, they turned their backs on him. He says that if he wasn't there to entertain us, he wasn't worth our time. And the fans are always the first to criticize and say he's done. But it isn't just the fans, it's every single member of this raw industry. Every friend he thought he had in this business turned out to be nothing but a fraud, a fake, a phony. So it wasn't entirely up to him to rebuild himself after he was shattered into pieces, and he did. He said he rose from the ashes and he promised himself to be bigger and better than he's ever been, and he did it entirely on his own. So now he's here to make every single one of the fans feel the agony that he felt, and that he deserves a match for the Impact World title. You asked me, that's one hell of a promo. I love that promo. And Morrissey makes a great point of how quick some fans are to turn on a wrestler. He's true. Fans turn on a wrestler very quickly. So then after this, we get the second award of the evening. It's a men's wrestler of the year, with the nominees being Kenny Omega, Christian Cage, Moose, Josh Alexander, and Rich Swann. The winner being Josh Alexander. Now, if you ask me, Josh Alexander deserved this award. He had one hell of a run as X Division champion, which catapulted him to a match against Christian Cage for the Impact World title. He honestly, he deserved it. He seriously deserved this award. He invoked option C, meaning that he relinquished the X Division title, and he was undefeated as X Division title. What more can you ask for? What more can I say? Then we got a recap of Moose versus Rich Swann at Sacrifice, a match that Rich Swann ended up winning. Then we get a promo by Mercedes Martinez, and she says that last week her name came out of Deanna's mouth. If you guys recall, last week Deanna did mention Mercedes Martinez in her promo against Mickie James. Mercedes goes on to say that if Deanna thinks she's a cheap hood rat coming off the streets trying to make a name for herself at Impact, she's wrong. She says, no, chica. Mercedes says that she's the OG badass, and then when you speak her name, you better put some respect in it. And she says that if Deanna thinks it's easy to beat her, she says that better women than Deanna have tried and failed. That Deanna wants to see how easy it is to beat her, then she'll wrestle her next week. Now, I have to say, this is obviously taped. This was taped back in November because, as we all saw yesterday, Mercedes Martinez is now All Elite. So after this, we get the men's match of the year. The nominees include Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann at Rebellion, Kenny Omega versus Sami Callahan at Slammiversary, Moose versus Rich Swann at Sacrifice, Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory, the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary, and Josh Alexander versus TJP for the X Division title in a 60-minute Iron Man match, which started on before the Impact and concluded on Impact on the June 3rd edition. Now, me personally, I would have chosen the Ultimate X match, but the winner ended up being Josh Alexander versus TJP in the 60-minute Iron Man match. That match was amazing. I caught the ending of it that took place on Impact. Holy cow. Putting Josh Alexander on the map, definitely showing why he was Wrestler of the Year, and not only why Josh Alexander was Wrestler of the Year, but why this match was Match of the Year. If you haven't seen this match, I highly suggest you check it out. An amazing match all of the year. All of Josh Alexander's matches were amazing. You need to watch all of his matches this year. Amazing. And then we found out that in 2022, Impact will be celebrating their 20th anniversary. So congrats to Impact for making it to their 20th anniversary. And last but certainly not least, we get a backstage segment with the Undead Bridesmaids. Brandy Lauren saying that Silence is deafening, that they're looking for Mother, that they have failed to provide Mother with the souls that she needs to take. Guess who makes an appearance? Su Yung. And she takes the souls of Brandy Lauren and Kimberly. That's not all, though. We come to find out that Su Yung is pregnant. So congrats to Rich Swann and to Su Yung for their big child. And I'm so excited for them. But of course, that explains her long absence from Impact. So that's all. What more can I say except for thanks for watching. Thanks for your continued support. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at @Athatilla_. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.